Welcome to the Retire Mentality channel. This is a place where we talk about changing your mentality about your retirement. We talk about real estate investing, personal finance, passive income, reaching financial independence, and basically just getting to retirement as fast as we can. I'm not really one to say that we're necessarily talk very much about the FIRE movement, but reaching financial independence is the main thing so that you can gain the time in your life to do what you want to do. I'm coming to you today from the Tiki House. If this looks kind of interesting, I'll put a link to a video up here that you can watch, or maybe it's over here. I never know because the camera's turned around. But today I want to talk about something that I'm going to get some pushback on, which I love creating controversy. Not really, but I predicted 3 times that the real estate market wasn't going to crash because of COVID. And I started those predictions, I don't know, 6 months ago. And they're still holding up to be true. Everybody told me that I was an idiot, and I told all of them to be sure to subscribe to my channel so that one of us could call the other one an idiot at some point. But today I'm going to do another one of these videos that kind of goes against the grain of what everybody's telling you. So the topic of today's video is about emergency funds, and I think that the way of the emergency fund is going to be dead. You need to have access to cash and to capital when bad things happen. That's the lesson we've definitely learned from COVID, from this whole thing of the market shutting down, towns shutting down, businesses shutting down. But there's a smarter way to do it, and I'm going to talk about it right now. Okay, what is this blasphemy I speak of that you don't need an emergency fund? Of course we need to have access to cash, we need to have access to capital, especially when markets tank, when the stock market goes down, when businesses get shut down, if there's a pandemic, if there's a real estate bubble or whatever. There's lots of reasons that we need access to cash. It's actually the reason that I went broke in 2008 was I didn't have enough cash on hand to sustain the market downturn, and that was the lesson that I learned from that. But now that I have access to more money and I have more properties, the ability to get money gets easier. So I don't need, I have 7 properties and I have 6 mortgages and I have other bills and expenses. And I think you need at least 6 months of capital to cover all of your payments for 6 months. That means 6 mortgages for me, plus, insurance and all the other things that I need to pay. So if I'm saying I don't need an emergency fund, what am I talking about? I have a heloc, I have a home equity line of credit on my primary residence, which has about $100,000 of capital available to me. So that's plenty of money to cover all of my mortgage payments, all of my bills, everything for way more than 6 months. And that way I can use my cash to actually buy more assets to make more income. So by using the available debt on that line of credit, I have the safety of knowing no matter what happens in the market, I can cover all my bills, but I don't have to have my actual money tied up. So if there is something bad that happens in the world and I'm not getting rent or I'm not getting income from wherever, and I need to have access to cash, I can pull that money out of my line of credit, use that to pay my bills, use that to live off of, use that to cover everything I need to pay for. But then all of my actual cash money that I have can be deployed out into the markets making more money, whether it's in the stock market or buying more real estate or whatever it is, starting a business. So that's it. I don't think I need to go too far into it in this video. I'll make this actually I always try to make my videos short, but that's the gist of it. If you have equity in your property or in other properties, it's very hard to get a line of credit on something that's not your primary residence, but there are some ways to do it. That's for another time. But at least in your primary residence, if you have access to equity in your primary residence, I suggest getting a line of credit and having that money sit there so that you don't have to tie your cash up in an emergency fund. It's a good way to invest in more real estate or invest in the stock market, whatever you want to invest. So as always, I hope this video was helpful. I hope maybe you learned something, maybe something you hadn't thought of before. And if you did, please consider hitting the like button. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.